Hello, this is Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer.
Welcome home. Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hey, it's Amy from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey Clubbers, it's Scott from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey, it's Kathleen from DVC Clubhouse.
Welcome aboard. It's Phil from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Debrief podcast brought to you by DVC Clubhouse. This is Amy, joined as always by Kathleen, Scott, and Phil. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome aboard, guys. I don't know if I do like a musical entry to this one, NFL, Monday Night Football, draft music, something. I got to think about what would lead into this one.
Instead of
I like
We Are
that.
the World.
I had so much fun with that. Well, we didn't just have We Are the World. We had We Are the World. We had Live Aid. We had Band Aid. There was a lot of substance there. I had to pick very appropriately.
It was like you were a DJ in addition to a podcast.
I couldn't help myself. I mean, you picked Ethiopia for the abundance of food options there. And immediately in my head, I just start hearing Band-Aid singing Christmas music.
Well, you clearly have never been to an Ethiopian restaurant to know how amazing the food is.
All I saw was 1980s commercials with Sally Struthers and Queen on stage at Wembley. My head went somewhere completely different.
Well, let's not go down that path again. So let's just stay on track with what we've got tonight, which is totally a totally new concept. We tested out doing the Clubby Awards once. Now we're gonna shift gears, and I think that there are gonna be some clubbers that are really gonna enjoy this. I'm looking at you, Chad, because Chad has been the one who has organized our fantasy football and baseball drafts for Clubhouse. So we're doing a draft style pick tonight for quick service and rides. So
Well, rides will be in the next episode. We got to split this into two.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought that we were doing. Okay. My bad. All right. So, Phil, why don't you just give our listeners a little bit of an explanation about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and okay, take it away.
All right, perfect. I was waiting for you to end there.
Yeah.
We were just
I was
hanging.
going to say I was going to say something, but then I had nothing. So go ahead.
So this is an idea that I've had for what, guys? Probably close to a month, and we just have not had either all of us recording at the same time or other things have come up. But the idea was and is we have 4 different categories that we're going to be doing drafts on. So this episode will be quick service meals, and we've narrowed that down to quick service as defined on Disney's website. So that is quick service restaurants, walk up, order your food, and then sit down, or carts, things of that nature that you can just walk up and get your food. We will also do rides. Again, we thought about attractions, but that list is 42,000 pages long because Disney classifies everything as an attraction. We will then do resorts. That one's going to be a little contentious. And then sit down restaurants. Once we draft them, we will put them up on our Facebook page, DVC Clubhouse. I'll just preempt Amy on that one. We will use our picks as the bracketing order and then let the clubbers decide what they think is the best of each category. It's going to be standard draft order. We entered everybody's name into a random draft generator online, and we're going to go with that order, mixing it up a little bit for the next 4 episodes. Does that about cover it, guys? I know I just explained it to you 15 minutes ago, so it should be fresh.
Yeah, perfect.
I have questions.
You always have questions. What do you got, buddy?
All right, so we're picking when we get to resorts and things like that. These are just DVC resorts, or are we allowed to branch out and do all of Disney?
Considering there are 4 picks for each of us, totaling 16 picks, I think we're going to have to branch resorts out across property. I don't think we're going to be able to cover it with just DVC resorts. And plus, I need to give you an opportunity to pump up your home away from home.
Perfect.
Or is it your home away from home away from home, since you have your home, your welcome home, and then your also ran resort?
You'll find out.
I'm sure I will. All right, so to set the stage, according to the random draft generator online, the order for tonight's picks will be, drum roll please, Kathleen,
Shocking.
Scott, myself, and then Amy. Hey, Kathleen won this one fair and square, and it's the only time you want to be able to go first.
Right. I'm already confused. So I thought I had it, but you just said that we're going to pick 4 each?
So there will be 4 rounds of the draft, correct? So if each of us were to pick 4, so you will pick first, then Scott will pick, then myself, then Amy. In
Okay,
a
never
standard
mind.
draft, then goes Amy, myself, Scott, you, then you get another one, so on and so forth.
That's what I thought, but then when you said it again, I thought I had to give my 4 options now.
No, you don't get 4 picks right
Okay.
off the bat. Completely unfair in a draft. Unless you've
Okay.
traded your pick to Scott for something. There could be some
I was just going to
shenanigans
say,
happening here.
are we allowed to propose trades in this draft or not?
Maybe after the fact, but we're not going to belabor the process now.
And I like the fact that Kathleen thought that all 4 of her picks could be used on the first. 32 NFL teams are coming up, and they all wish they could do that.
Right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
Hey, I'm just making sure. I had it right originally, but I just wanted to make sure.
Just before you go, I'm assuming that you already have a number 1 in mind for quick service.
It was hard, actually, but I have my decision.
And I'm also assuming that since I'm the number 2 pick, that you're about to take my number 1 pick.
I don't know. I guess we'll
I'd
see.
say there's a 100% chance of that happening.
Okay. This is going to get ugly.
All right, Kathleen, lead us off. Here we go.
So my pick for quick service is the polite pig.
Yeah, this is going to get ugly.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah, this is going to get ugly.
Everything there is amazing. Food, drinks, just everything. Atmosphere.
You just took my bourbon bar.
I did.
All
Sorry.
right, Scott, you're up.
This is why you had to have a list.
I know. Like I had a list, but that was my list. There was no backup list.
That was it. That was it. That was his only pick.
Okay, so I guess if I have the number 2 pick in the draft, out of everything that I could think of, quick service, I'm just gonna go over to the crown jewel. I'm gonna pick Gasparilla's. I think they have solid options. It's over at a great resort, and it's pretty much the only quick service where you can do the build your own salad station. And also in the morning for breakfast, I believe it's build your own parfait station. So I'm going to go with Gasparilla's for my first pick.
That's the first one that got wiped off of my list. All right, so
That
here I
wasn't on
am
my list.
in with number 3. I am taking Artist Palette, Saratoga Springs.
That
Great
was on my list.
location, great sandwiches, great selection. One of the few places you can buy an energy drink with your lunch, which is just huge for me because I'm a caffeine junkie. So Artist Palette comes in at number 3.
Good choice.
All right. So Polite Pig was going to be my pick because I feel like, there are very few quick service restaurants where you have a full bar. So that was going to be my number 1. So good choice, Kathleen. So I'm going to have to bump down to my second choice, which is Eat, the Indian quick service restaurant at Disney Springs. I'm picking them because I think that the quality of the food, it could be a table service restaurant with the quality of the food and the size of the menu. It's, a lot of quick service restaurants have like 5 or 6 items. I mean, at the parks at least, but that you can also get wine and beer there. They have frozen cocktails, like cocktail slushies there. They have the mango lassi. And I just think that
wait. Let Scott do this, please. It's
Yeah.
his signature.
I believe it's the mango lassi.
I love that you say it like you're Scottish.
He does. It's got a brogue to it. It's incredible.
So yeah, and I just think that it's like really cool looking in there, like it's well themed. So yeah, my first choice this round is Eat.
Perfect. And since you're number 4, you get to follow up with the 5th round pick as well.
All right, so I'm gonna stay at Disney Springs for this pick, and I'm going to pick the basket at Wine Bar George. So the outside walk up counter service window. I love that because again, the quality of the food, like you literally can get food that is served in the restaurant at that window. Plus, you have the access to their entire wine list. So I think that that's just like a really great option for really delicious food, great wine, and being able to do that quickly. So I'm a big fan of that.
All right, back to me. I'm going to be basic here, but I think that it is the one place you can get fresh, decent, good food and one of the biggest purveyors of food in Epcot. I am going to take Connections.
Oh, I can't stand you right now, Phil. Literally, it was right there.
Sorry, buddy. So you just lost Polite Pig and Connections. The good
Yes.
news is you're up next, so you better have a plan C.
Great.
You don't.
It's me. Are you done? Telling everybody the reasons why you stole my pick?
That's the
Okay.
reason I stole your star quarterback, buddy. Sorry.
All right, I'm going to go to Magic Kingdom, and I'm going to go to Pecos Bills.
That was
it's
next
a-
on my list under Connections. I almost went there.
It's a total solid option. They got great food there. They just changed the menu. Tamales instead of the actual tacos now, but it's just as good as what it used to be. So I'm going Pecos. Sorry, babe.
That wasn't even on my list.
Oh, really?
How is it not on your list?
It
You're
should have
constantly
been.
talking about this
I
place.
know.
Wow.
You
I'm
were
shocked.
talking me into it 2 weeks ago.
So back to me.
Yep.
Back to you.
So I'm going back to Epcot, and I'm going to Layall. Is that how you pronounce it?
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Well,
Who does-
have they
who
put out
doesn't
the
love
fire,
bread?
right? That they've
Yes.
gotten the smoke smell out of there?
Yes. Because that place is, it's bread. Everything there's
You're
good.
speaking Emily's language. Just it's bread, it's carbs. But did you guys see the internet just, for lack of a better term, explode with the pictures of smoke pouring out of Epcot? You would have thought the entirety of all 44 square miles were just on fire that afternoon with the amount of uproar and hand-wringing that was going on.
Yep.
That was crazy.
It reminded me of the black smoke monster from Lost. Do you guys watch Lost? So I was hoping that maybe it was like a promo for a Lost reboot, but no, it was an actual fire.
I was ready to make a joke about Murphy #2 catching fire over at Hollywood Studios. It received more press than the poor dragon at Disneyland. All right, Kathleen, good news. You get to go again.
What?
Wait,
What?
I didn't get. Wait, did I get? Oh, that was still the second round that we were just on.
Correct.
Okay.
Now we're entering into the third round. Kathleen is up.
This is quick service still?
No, this is actually restaurants on iDrive. You're up. Go ahead. We've
Crap.
moved over to Universal Orlando. What do you got?
All my picks were taken.
Golden Corral.
Yeah, all my picks were taken.
You need a deeper bench than that.
You're on the
No.
clock.
Oh.
Does Kathleen know what that means, or did you just hit her with a completely esoteric reference that threw her for a loop?
I don't think she's ever watched the draft before, so don't
So
look.
this is, you said this could be any walk up, right?
Correct, as long as it is listed on Disney's website, and I will fact check you.
Well, you might
No
have to
fake news here.
You might have to fact check me on this one.
All right, what do you got? I got the
So-
page open.
Is the spring roll cart on there?
Yeah, I think that's allowable. Absolutely. You can walk up, get food, and leave. That's a solid choice.
All right, that's my choice. That's a good one.
Was that number 4 on Scott's list? That was a
No.
very exasperated sigh.
No, I have two that I'm. Okay, I think I can get both of them because no, I'm ready. Are you done?
I'm done.
Spring roll cart
Yes.
because you can't go wrong with spring rolls.
Cheeseburger ones.
They're good. Yeah,
100% can
Forget
confirm.
the pizza ones.
Oh, the pizza ones are trash compared to the cheeseburger ones. It's not even a contest.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go with Geyser Point.
What?
Yep. I
Hold
just
on.
think it's.
I need to fact check this one. I think that's listed as a lounge and a sit down.
I just pulled up a list of all quick service restaurants at Disney, and it is listed as quick service Geyser Point Bar and Grill.
Really?
According to this list, it is.
You have to make a reservation.
Not according
It-
to
it's not.
disneyworld.disney.gov.com. Try
Walk
again,
up.
Scott.
All right, fine. I'll go with my next one, which will be Trails End over at Fort Wilderness. I just think they have solid options. Well, it used to be one of the better places to go to actually get a meal when it was a buffet. But I think as a
I
quick
could
service,
not agree more.
as a quick service, it may not be quite up to that standard, but still they have all the great food that they had before.
To quote Amy, rip original Trails End.
And by the way, that's me quoting my kids. So my kids say "rip" about everything. So that's not an Amy original.
I miss that buffet so much. I'm just going to throw it out there again. I know it just is a broken record, but man, I miss that buffet. All the fried chicken, the ribs, everything you got from Hoop-Dee-Doo, plus the ice cream machine, the make your own sundae bar, cornbread, carving station. Man, I miss that.
It just puts you in like a yeehaw kind of mood.
That is not how I would describe that. I got to be honest. All right, I'm up. So we're still pretty high up on my list, which makes me think I got to start mixing it up a little bit, to be honest with you. All right, I'm going to head on over to Animal Kingdom, and I'm torn between two, and I'm
Feels fun.
actually going to mix up the order. I'm going to go with Yak and Yeti. Yak and Yeti
Oh.
is my next pick.
Thought you were going Pizzafari.
Nope, that was not what I was conflicted with. You know what? Even if it comes back to me, I'm not going to pick the other one anyway. So my other one was Satuli. I think it's actually a solid option. So someone else could take that. It wouldn't hurt me, but yeah.
Yeah, you just made me think of that one when you said Yak and Yeti. I immediately went Satuli.
So what made you pick Yak and Yeti over Satuli?
I like Satuli. I think it's a great meal, but I think Yak and Yeti has so many varied options. I don't know that the kids would like it as much, but if it's just me picking between the two, I'm going to go to Yak and Yeti. I think it's a menu that's for a far wider. I don't know about wider. What's the word I'm looking for here? I don't want to say a wider palette, but I think it's got much more interesting flavors than Satuli does.
Who's up?
Amy's up. She's got
Me.
2 picks in a row. She's closing it out for her picks here.
All right. So my next pick is going to be Hurricane Hannah's Waterside Bar and Grill.
Mm.
That's one of my favorite places at Beach Club. I think that it's a great spot to be able to grab either a salad or a burger or a sandwich. Plus, again, you have a full bar and you have the option to walk up to the window and take it away, or sit at the bar, and order your food at the bar and order drinks. It's also kind of like in a fun. I like that it's like right outside of Stormalong Bay, but you still have a view of the boardwalk. So I love the whole vibe of like being able to be out there overlooking Crescent Lake and having a meal that feels a little bit more elevated, because even though it's quick service food, you do have the bar, which I just feel like having a full bar at a quick service makes it feel one level above a quick service. So I am going with Hurricane Hannah's. And I'm torn. This last one is difficult because I have a couple that I could go with, but I think let me just make sure that it's on the list before I commit. I'm scrolling really fast.
If you just call it out, I can check. I've got the screen in front of me. And by the way, I had Beach Club Marketplace actually on my long list because I think there's a lot of cool options there too.
So this is actually not on the list, but I'm going to let you guys be the judge. La Choza at the Mexico Pavilion. You know, the place like to the left of the pyramid where you can get frozen margaritas, but you can also order.
All right, guys.
You can
show of thumbs.
Yeah, I'm gonna allow that because it's not on my list.
All right, it's unanimous. We're allowing it.
Okay. So I think that, like, again, I love that you can get the drinks that you can get inside of at La Cava at La Choza. Some of them at least, like the top shelf margarita, which I love. But the empanadas and the street corn are so delicious from there. So I think that is like a great option because it gives you the ability to get like really good drinks, but also like really tasty food, like high quality, good tasting food. So That's my final pick. I tried to kind of diversify my picks a little bit. I did pick two at Disney Springs, and I have one in a theme park and one in a resort. And I feel like if you asked me tomorrow, I might change my list. But today,
That's going to be the funny thing about
Yeah.
this is there's so many quick service restaurants that aren't going to make this list because we were jumping around. But believe it or not, of all the ones that I picked, I think you guys have only stripped 4 off my list of 16. That's how many good quick service restaurants there are around property. And I know we hammer the quick service, so I'm going to say good by Walt Disney World standards. How's that?
yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I was just going to say we do hammer them, and we're always like Disneyland has such better quick service. But I feel like so far, and I know that you guys still have to give your final picks, but of everything that we've named, I think those are all really good, and I feel pretty good about those. At what everyone said, like that, those are really solid options with good food. So maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Okay, so I'm a little torn right now. I have a lot still on my list, and I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to go with because I could go way off the beaten path into something that's kind of like Amy's Lechosa, but I don't think I'm going to do that. And for my final pick, I'm taking Sleepy Hollow. Waffles, fruit, Nutella, chicken, corn dogs. I think when you're walking through Magic Kingdom and you want something quickly, that's a great go-to. And I'll give a little honorable mention to Liberty Square Marketplace. The hot dogs are solid, but I'm going to take Sleepy Hollow for my final pick.
Okay.
Good choice. Me?
Yep. I think
Can I protest the Geyser Point ruling? Am I allowed to do that?
You can protest, but I'm the league official, so when it comes to the front office, it's not going to get you very far.
Can I do Geyser Point to go?
No.
Do we want to
Okay.
give him a pity call? Nope. Kathleen says no. Sorry.
No,
you're right.
no, I wasn't getting it from her. Okay. Well, I have a couple of...
So the only reason I can't allow it, and I'll be honest, is because the very top of my list was Tiffin's. And because Tiffin's is listed as a table service, I did not draft it right off the bat. So I can't give
You mean
that.
Nomad Lounge?
Nomad Lounge, sorry. I always say Tiffin's instead of Nomad Lounge. I had Nomad Lounge at the top of my list. And if I can't take Nomad, you can't have Geyser Point.
Yeah, they're both. You have to join a walk up, so.
Mm.
And you have waitresses.
So does Polite Pig.
You order your food at a counter at Polite Pig.
Can order it at the bar. All right, whatever. I see. I'm not going to win this.
About this.
I'm not going to win
say,
this.
Scott, depending on where you go, I am shocked, utterly shocked that there's one that has not made your list, and I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I think my fourth pick, I have a couple that I'm kind of torn between. There's my obvious choice is the Friar's Nook, just because it's Robin Hood related, and they have solid food. I mean, they really do, breakfast and also lunch. But I also was thinking about either Gaston's because it's so unique, or I haven't picked anything from Disney Springs. I don't know if Morimoto Asia was allowed for the street food.
Yeah, street food was on my list.
So I guess I'm just going to go with Friar's Nook, just because it's Robin Hood related. And I think that's one of my go-tos for breakfast when we're at Magic Kingdom. But the other ones are pretty solid too. Is it your pick now? Did I just make you think?
Take mine.
Kathleen's closing it out.
I know where you're going with this.
No, you're not.
I know where you're going
you
with
don't.
this. You're probably going to say Captain Cook's.
I can't stand you. How did you know?
30 years of marriage.
She's like, you're never going to guess. I hate you.
I literally had like 3 left.
Mm-hmm.
It is Captain Cook's for the
I know.
coconut meatballs.
For what?
The coconut meatballs.
Oh. Yeah, those are good.
Scott, can I just say that I'm shocked you did not bring boat rights into the conversation?
Boat rights is a table service.
You mean not boat rights? You mean the
River
river
roast?
mill, the old river mill?
Yes, I'm sorry, Old River Mill. See, I never go over there except when Scott promises me Yeehaw Bob and then disappoints me.
Well, I wanted to say River Roost, but that's the lounge. The food court is the River Mill is the food court.
River Mill, wherever we got all the food that we piled on the table before ordering more food at the table. That place.
Yes, yeah, that was the food court there. But yeah, that's a solid option. I'll save Riverside for something else in the draft.
Out of curiosity, just to round it up, what else did you have on your list? Because I've got a whole bunch that never made it. I've got ABC Commissary. I mean, Cosmic Rays didn't even make the list here with us, even though it is literally one of the busiest restaurants in the world for a daily user base. Beach Club Marketplace, Earl of Sandwich, Street Food, La Creperie. Oh, and by the way, I almost used Aloha Isle for my last pick, just because Dole Whip.
Who had La Creperie?
I had La Creperie. It was deep on the list, but it was there.
I think that I'm surprised that Satuli Canteen didn't make it on the list. I'm surprised that Regal Eagle Smokehouse didn't make it.
It was on my list.
Regal Eagle?
Regal Eagle.
That's a good one, yeah.
There were a couple more that I was... Well, wait, did Morimoto Asia end up on the list?
No, we talked about it. No one ended up picking it, but honestly, it was, I will tell you, 13 on my list of 16.
It almost made my last pick.
The Mara was on my list. And honestly, like, the Mara could... I was really torn for my last pick between La Chosa and the Mara, but I hadn't really picked a theme park quick service. It's so hard. I mean, I picked La Chosa because I like the drinks and I like the food options. So it's like, it's well-rounded to me. But there are quick services in Epcot that I really like as well. So it was tough. But I'm sticking by my choices. Clearly, obviously, we're done. I can't change my mind. But
we can still change our mind. It just won't count.
I think that Docking Bay 7 is also pretty good. That's what was on my list.
I was just going to say, if you're the food and beverage manager at Hollywood Studios, pay attention because you suck. None of us picked... We didn't pick anything from Hollywood Studios.
ABC Commissary was 7 on my list, and not because it's incredible, but because it's one of the more reasonably decent options there. But yeah, you're right. There's not a whole lot of selection there.
Well, if I could have picked Baseline Tap House, I would have, but that's not on the list.
Yeah, I don't think Baseline qualifies under quick serve.
I mean, I kind of feel like it should because you walk up, you order it, there's no waitress.
Redo.
But
yeah, well, we got to blame Disney for that omission because they don't list it as a quick service on their website. We had to use something as an authority.
But also, I just lost my train of thought of the one that I was what I was going to say. So,
Yorkshire Country Fish Shop.
I was not going to say that because that is not really something that I eat.
Fife and Drum.
When I'm at Disney. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The quick service like food court area at Coronado Springs is actually excellent, but it's just that only really is serviceable for people that are staying at Coronado Springs, which is why it didn't make my list. But they've got some really great options, some healthy options. So, like if we were going through a list and just saying resort quick service, like that probably would have made my list. But because I was trying to pick stuff that's like more accessible to everybody, like I know Hurricane Hannah's is at a resort, but I feel like that service is more than just that resort. So that's why that one made my list.
So to recap, we have in order of their picks: Polite Pig, Gasparilla, Artist Palette, Eat, Wine Bar George, Connections, Pecos Bills, Leal, The Spring Roll Cart in Adventureland, Trails End, Yak and Yeti, Hurricane Hannah's, La Chosa, Sleepy Hollow, Friar's Nook, and Captain Cook's. That is our Sweet 16.
That's a good list.
That's a good bracket. I think it is.
Yeah.
It's good because it also has like some kind of like diversity in terms of like the type of place it is, where it's located. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
It's really going to come down to the bracketed matchup and seed versus seed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will round this one out and be back next week with rides. But as always, thank you for listening, for playing along. If you could head on over to Apple Podcast, give us a like, a 5-star review. We would appreciate it. Amy?
And then if you want to vote for your favorite pick, be sure to join our Facebook group, DVC Clubhouse. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And until next time, we'll DVC you real soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
And so our journey comes to an end.
Oh, no, please, can't we go back to page 1 and do it all over again?
Started this thing together, and that's how we'll finish it.
Because that, my friends, is where the magic lives.